Hey guys, real quick, before we start the next vlog, I want to bring you up to speed on a really cool company. Startups and scale-ups, check this out. weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off. These guys have been doing it for as long as the dinosaurs have roamed Earth. And if you mention this vlog, they'll give you $200 credit towards your first kickoff.
We are back.
It's another week.
You
another
usually
month.
say that.
Yeah, but we're back. And the next words that come out of your mouth are, in Canva news this month.
We cannot start this without talking about Canva's monster secondary sale. 3.6 billion Australian dollars. If you talk in US dollars, 2.6 billion at a 39 billion Aussie valuation. We spoke last month about how there's not a lot of money floating around. Well, Blackbird has taken $800 million off the table. You know, their first fund in 2012 is now a 2,600x return on the Canva investment for that investment.
So I wanted to ask you this, and I wanted to kind of put you on the spot.
Great.
If we took Canva out of the conversation,
yeah,
who are we talking about these days?
Well, we're going to talk about that shortly. The newest unicorn since 2022. So we'll talk about that in a second.
The Canva business.
Canva is certainly it's minting the next generation of angel investors. It also, according to the past month's news, so Airtree have returned their first fund thanks to Canva. Blackbird took 800 million off the table. SquarePeg announced they've now returned over $1 billion back to their limited partners. Again, a big chunk of that's coming from Canva. We spoke about early employees, early investors in Canva now being minted. Plenty of them still have a lot of skin left in the game. You know, they're just kind of taking the cream off the top, right? So Canva has certainly been, as we all know, an absolute monster when it comes to setting up the next decade of investors in this market.
I guess before Canva, we would have been speaking about Uber.
Yeah, so Uber, it's really interesting. So when Uber floated, their share price tanked.
Yep.
Then it started slowly creeping up. Over the past couple of weeks, they've actually hit the peak of their market cap.
Incredible.
Right now, they're sitting at 150 billion US dollars, which is incredible.
That's incredible.
Last month, we spoke about the biggest class action, you know, in the top 5 class actions that they lost against Uber, obviously. GoCatch, which is the taxi booking app that collapsed almost a decade ago, have obviously sniffed around and realised that they may approach Uber. So they're now in courts with Uber about tactics that Uber kind of employed in the early days, which they're saying resulted in GoCatch going under and all their investors losing money. So it's a watch and see on that front.
Yeah, no kidding.
But Indian ride-sharing app Ola, I think that's how it's pronounced, Ola, after 6 years have left the Australian market, which just builds dominance for Uber.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be the last one standing at the bar. Just sometimes.
Are you often the last man standing at the bar?
Not for the last
You don't drink?
25 years. Irrespective.
Yeah.
I'm very happily married, even though I don't wear a wedding ring, but very happily married. So Gav, roller coasters.
We often talk about roller coasters.
But before you kind of enjoy the ride, you have to sort of go on the ups.
You got to go up.
Give us some ups.
Outside of Canva and Uber hitting on a global scale, the top of their market cap at this stage, there is a lot of things to be positive about. Deputy have been announced the latest unicorn to hit the Australian tech ecosystem.
We use Deputy here.
They raised 37 million. It's the first unicorn actually in the Australian startup sector to be announced a unicorn since 2022 in over 2 years, which is fantastic. We also saw the third ever largest Series A in Australia with Honey, which is in the home insurance category, and another monster Series A with Constantinople of 50 million bucks.
All right, so we're on this roller coaster. We've hit the top. Now give me the down.
So going down is that startup deals have fallen to a 6-year low. In fact, it's the lowest it's been since Cut Through Venture have been writing their reports and analysing the market.
Yeah,
it's also, in first quarter stats, we're seeing 66 Australian startups have raised capital, totaling just over 700 million.
Bang.
But that's a 45% drop year on year.
I remember the good old days, Gav, when you and I were like, another massive monster raise, and now we're sort of, I feel like we're getting up there, but it's not.
It's more like there are big boulders that pop up, you know, Honey and others, that big boulders that pop up. But there used to be far higher volume of lots more checks being written. They're now few and far between.
But I also heard earlier this week, not on the paper here, but Tiger Global has raised another fund, but it's at a very small fraction of what they historically have.
It talks to that less liquidity floating around. A lot more people with interest rates going up are putting their money into different places, not just into high risk venture.
Yep.
So from a people perspective,
I was going to say people.
So we go up, we go down, but there have been quite a few people move. Elaine Steed's been appointed a partner at Main Sequence.
Congrats.
1013 has appointed
Sophie.
2 new partners, and Rampersan as well has promoted Taryn to partner. Congratulations, Taryn. And also brought on Andrew into a partner role. I think he was in the UK and he's come back to Australia, selected Rampersand as the fund that he wants to make impact with.
I saw some of that noise online earlier in the week.
Yeah, there was a lot of press. Probably Paul Naftali's background in PRs playing to his advantage there.
Paul doing his thing.
If we go global a little bit, you remember FTX, the fraud behind FTX?
I do, Sam.
So Sam Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years jail.
25 years.
25 years is a long time.
That's a wild number.
And your mate Andrew Newman,
Adam.
who was the Adam. We got too many Andrews.
Yeah, Andrew.
Adam Newman.
Adam.
He's back with Flow, which is his new real estate play. But he's also lobbed a bid across to WeWork, which is they filed for bankruptcy. They're in bankruptcy now.
They will come out of it.
And he wants his old baby back.
I think he needs to return to that organization. I think that Adam brought a charisma to an organization. He brought energy, he brought spirit, he brought soul. He didn't bring great financial decisions, but a lot of people signed up and subscribed to what WeWork was because of Adam.
Have you met him before?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I might have him over. Yeah, I might have him over Shabbat one time.
You heard it first here.
But the reality is, like, you know, WeWork without Adam is really just a very dull office business. And just a product where with Adam, I just feel like I would love to see him get it. I would love to see him back in the industry. I hope he learns from the history and grows. Already hearing him speak at Flow, it appears.
His speech the other day.
Yeah, it appears like, hey, look, this is a learning, this is a growth, this is a situation.
He went straight from his elevator pitch to let's have a selfie with his founding team of Flow. So those early shots.
Adam's still going to be Adam though, right?
He is. So back locally here, just to wrap up.
Yep.
A couple of conferences. We're back in real life following the craziness of COVID. So Sunrise have their big
Blackbird
annual conference back in Sydney.
Yep.
Did I say Blackbird?
Blackbird Sunrise.
Blackbird Sunrise.
Yeah.
So I thought I said.
Yeah. You normally send me something from there each year.
Yeah, that's right. So May 1st and 2nd, a couple of weeks' time, 2 days of networking and inspiration and talking and conference. And then a couple of weeks later, Innovation Bay. I think it's their first ever all-day conference called Inspire for members, May 22nd, I think in Sydney as well.
They're great. Both groups are great. Get around it. I'll put all the link in the description below. See you next month.